Hello, hello. You are muted.
Now we are live. Okay, hello everyone. I am Elma, and today we have Pawel Sokolowski of Neuronwriter, and Pavel is going to talk about what is Neuronwriter about. And I know that you all heard about the change in Google algorithm for helpful content, and he will also discuss the new tiers and the benefits and some of the use cases for Neuronwriter. Okay, so Pavel, let's start with the first. What is the relationship of Contadu with and Neuron Writer?
Okay. So first, Elma, thank you so much for having me here. It was a pleasure to know you. It's our second meeting or third one, I believe so. Second. We
Second, yes,
already understand that we have the same headphones, which was very funny.
is
And
that
according to the Contadu relation, Contadu and Neuron Writer and so on. So the story, in a short, uh, it's very straightforward. So we are working as a team already about maybe 9 years. I assume I mean, like me and my co-founder. We already did few software launches, and right now with the Contadu, we start about 3 years ago with the Contadu. We mainly as a keyword or competitor research tool. Later, we also were working on the editor level, on the content editor level, but this tool was, or it's still dedicated for enterprise level companies. So our customers are like, big brands like a Volkswagen, or for example, I don't know, Castorama in Poland, or I don't know, but Decathlon and so on, and also the large companies, like large companies which are just doing a lot of content or a lot of optimization of the content. So it could be a big e-commerce, it could be like a content agency. So for example, we are working with the Contentation, which is the biggest, I believe so, Polish agency, and they are doing like over 2,000 articles per month in the tool. So I believe we are quite well established on the Polish market, and we would like to expand on the international market. And we understood that with the Contadu, we had a lot of onboarding process, which was a little bit unclear, because it's just like, it's like big tool. It's more like a multi-tool. And our goal was to create a tool that everyone can use, which is like easy for use. And this is why we were thinking about taking a part of the Contadu, because Neuronwriter indeed is a part of the Contadu. Just taking a part of the Contadu, make it very low cost, and then just share it as a LTD with the AppSumo users. So that was our goal, to check if the goal is right, because we did a lot of research about multi-language. We have our own models. So, but for example, we didn't have, let's say, Thai users or Chinese users. So that was also our goal, to go for the multi-language users, or multi-language models, to test them, to see how this works and so on. And for now, I assume it's quite big chunk of the success of the Neuron Writer is the technology which is driving the Neuron Writer, because this is the technology, to be honest, from the Contadu. So yeah, so I believe this is how this works between
okay?
the Contadu and the
So to sum it up,
Neuron.
Contadu is the enterprise level of Neuron Writer, while Neuron Writer is more of a B2C kind of thing. Is that right?
Yeah, more, I would say, like Contadu, it's a enterprise level. When we are
Mhm.
working with the in-house teams, which have internal sales, internal specialists for the SEO, internal specialists for the copywriters. It's more like a big company, and then Contadu fits to this big company, and everything works well. When you think about the single copywriter or a freelancer, then Contadu, surely it's something that it's too heavy for them. This is something that we learned during the process, when we try to onboard the users to the Contadu. It was just a too too complicated for them. And this is why we say like, okay, it has to be better way for providing the part of the Contadu to the end user, like a copywriter or a freelancer or even a small business owner who is not technical. And then we stripe the Neuronwriter, and we did the AppSumo challenge. It was a challenge for us as well, because we never ever expect that it will be so many questions about the Neuronwriter and so many things which are going on. We are also learning, because that's we never work with so many users. We are always personally, I always work with the enterprise level, where things are much more slower, and the people are also a little bit different. So on the enterprise level, everything is much slower, to be honest. Yes.
That's
So
true.
this
That's
is
true.
also something that, yeah. So this is also something that we have to learn, how to adapt to the new environment, and so on and so on. So this is also new for us. And but anyway, it looks like we are trying to do our best, and maybe this works. I hope so that this works.
Okay, so the very first question came in. Why two similar products but different names?
Yeah, I just explained that we cannot really sell Contadu as a Contadu, because it will be misleading to the users, because then you have to have a version, I don't know, version A of Contadu, which is like only the content editor, and then version B of the Contadu, which is like a full. So it's the same, like, let's say if you just imagine you have a Photoshop and a Photoshop Lite. So it's the same kind of tool when we have a enterprise level solution, which is a Contadu, and then a light version of the solution, which is just a part of the solution, to be honest, which is called Neuronwriter.
Okay.
And that was how we manage this. And I believe it's successful, because the people which are just willing to know something about the content editor, they are referring to the Neuronwriter, and we are still have a good communication with our enterprise level customers, and we are talking with them about the Contadu. So that's still works for us.
So even your enterprise customers know that Contadu, the difference between Contadu and Neuronwriter, correct?
Yeah, they knew. And some of them, I mean, like the freelancers mostly, they also try to use the Neuronwriter, because it's cheaper, of course. Yes. So they
Yes.
migrate from the lower tiers, they migrate to LTD prices. Some of them, of course, it depends on them, because some of them just want to keep on the Contadu level. Some of them want to migrate. It's just like open.
Okay, so let's talk about the recent update on the Google algorithm about the helpful content. And what is your, what do you think about that?
So first of all, I believe that if you are not really tracking what is going on the semantical level, and you are not really following the Google communication, it could be quite surprising for some of the users when Google just announce something that they will release algorithm update or whatever. But indeed, they communicate about challenges that they have, which are related with expertise, about 2 or 3 years already. And even last year, released that. So we are talking about the rank brain. So the rank brain is part of the Google algorithm, which is responsible for the AI. So even lately in 2021, they released something which is called like how to make experts from the dilettantes, and they are updated this year, when they are talking about the challenges that they don't really trust the documents which are in the internet, because it's quite difficult for them to understand the quality of those documents and how they vary from each other. And they are trying to find the expertise between those documents. So in these documents, they are also saying something like they understand if the user has very similar top 10 results. So let's say the top 10 articles are just explaining exactly the same thing, but just a slightly different way. They assume that if user just have seen already one or have read already one of those articles, the extra 9 don't really give extra value for this user. So this what they are, I mean, this how the Google will evaluate how they are doing right now, the updates and everything, It's just trying to provide expert content, whatever expert content we can call. Yeah. So if the expert content is how to buy, I don't know, a pot, that could be also expert content. Expert content could be like, I don't know, how to pass the master degree. It's still expert content. But anyway, this is what they are looking for. They are looking for a trustful, worthy information, which are just giving something extra to the user. Also, in the Google patents, they have something which is called knowledge gap. Google have a lexicons for every language, so they understand what is the knowledge gap in your article. And also we are explaining in our webinar and the workshop and so on that the best, if you just don't want to do this kind of copy pasting or copycatting work, the best is just to look on the different sources and look on the different languages and so on, and just enrich your article. So because later, if Google has to choose from 5 articles, if 4 they are just, let's say, related or very, very same, and one extra has an extra section or 2 extra paragraphs or extra table, it will be just something more, just closing at least a little bit the content gap and then this knowledge gap. And I believe this is something that they are looking for. Also, I believe it's a little bit oversaturated, this is what happening right now, and it's also good because this is something that Google wants. So Google have 2 options. So one option is to really recognize this unhelpful content with the AI, which will be quite difficult, I would say so, because it will be difficult on the resource level, because they have to spend a lot of resources to understand what is helpful, what is not helpful, and they are already doing this. So this is not like they are not doing this before, because the behavioral metrics were already years used. So one, it's resources, and the second, it's something like they probably won't be ever sure until they are looking on the site-wide aspect. So they will never sure if your one piece of content is expertise or it's not expertise, or it's 80% expertise or 60% expertise, until they can really compare website A to website B. And if they compare website A to website B, and they are doing this already, so it's also not new. You can check in the internet for the HubSpot, I think so. HubSpot in 2016 was doing a SEO experiment. It's online. You can just search for the HubSpot and how the HubSpot delete a lot of blogs. And I assume, I don't remember, maybe 6,000 or 10,000 articles were deleted from the HubSpot blog. And indeed, this what happens. All the rest was ranking higher, because Google has something which is called topical authority on the domain level. So if you just remove the low-ranking content or this unhelpful content, the rest content could be just can give you this topical authority boost. So it's already working from, I don't know, 7 years. So this what they are doing right now is just like communicating this more, because a lot more users are using the AI, for example, to write content which don't really brings anything new or anything helpful, or more helpful than the competitors. And I believe this is something that they are afraid. And they, on one side, they would like to understand how to do this on the technical level, and on the other side, they would like to also explain to the user that this is something that they don't like, so user just don't do it. It's similar what they did with the backlinks in 2013, to be honest.
Right. Actually, if you are really writing for your audience, I don't think we have to be really afraid of this update on algorithm. Like, for example, in my case, let me just see if I can share my screen. I wrote an article actually using Neuronwriter. I was testing your app. So before, I don't care if it's optimized or not, but with your software, I managed to optimize it. Let me just share it with you. Okay, that must be screen 2.
So maybe I will also, before you just share it, I will also explain why this can be safe or unsafe. It's really how you use it. Yes.
Right,
So
it's
if you are using,
exactly how it's used. So, for example, here I
yeah,
wrote an article about rosehip oil. Well, I have an essential oils company and I have a beauty company, okay? And one of my products is rosehip seed oil. Now, I could never rank for content, and all my content are helpful. But with Neuronwriter, I was able to write it in such a way that it's both helpful and it can rank better in search engines. And this is just the beauty of it. And I haven't had this tool before. So I tried to use as much as possible the keywords and long tail keyword suggestions. So, and we are going to post this in our blog this week, and hopefully it ranks high in
um,
Google.
yeah, yeah, I believe so. That's really depend on the niche, and also as you can just share your screen, then I will also explain why the neuron writer it's built with the quality. It's
Right.
because when we build, I already knew everything. What maybe I no, it will be wrong if I say this like this. But I'm already reading the patents from Google and doing the workshop about this. What Google is doing according to the AI for already few years. So I'm really like trying to understand what they have in mind when they say like, okay, we need expert content. We don't really trust the documents from the users and so on and so on. So this is also why we built the neuron around the way how Google treats the documents. For example, in the neuron writer, we have a synonyms, we have some kind of forms. So for example, woman and woman's is the same word for us as it is for Google. Or if you are talking about the run and running, it's also the same word. Yes, I mean, because later, if you know how Google treats the documents, they don't really keep your document as a document. So they just do something like scanning the document, taking the most important part, like entities, it's called entities, and they just store the entity on the lexicon level. So they just store, I can later share if you like, they just store keywords from your article, like the most important keywords on your article, and they just strip everything else. So they're just doing something what is really related to the information or a topical authority or information which is based on your in your article, and also they give a percentage or like a points or scoring to every entity which is in this article. So if you write article about, let's say, beauty, they will say like, okay, this is about the beauty 100%, and this is, I don't know, about the permanent makeup about, I don't know, 20%. This is what they understood from the semantical context. And so they don't really store your document. They just store the part when they can use this part for the search later. So what they have to do, they have to do a simplification. So they do like, they just treat words in very specific way. So they just have a map of the synonyms and they try to keep the synonyms on the level that could be very easy understandable for the search engine. It's the same with the synonyms. Yes, if you are just typing COVID, you have also Corona-19 results and so on and so on, because they understand on the lexicon level is the same. It's a synonym. So they build so they built a lexicon. It's like, it's like a word cloud, like 3D word cloud. You can say so. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, on this lexicon level, you have to understand that you need a little bit more expertise than average. And this is also why we have this what we call it extended keywords, because those extended keywords sometimes are not perfect if the niche is not, I will say, if this is a long tail or something like this. But mostly these extended keywords are just giving you the opportunity to don't be treated as a content which is just writing for this most important keyword. So your lexicon in Google will be a little bit broader than something which is just written with a very basic with a very basic must to have keywords. um, yeah, so I mean, like, you can be a little bit more safe with the neuron. I hope so. We don't know really how they will deploy this algorithm. From this, what I understood, it will be just an add-on to rank brain algorithm. which will try to score extra score on every page. And if your total score for a website, which will be something like a domain rank or content domain rank, whatever we call this, it's below a threshold which could be taken as a suspicious, then they will say something like, yeah, probably this could be written without the user intent, or this without the user expertise, or this can be written like we had before a lot of content which was just like generated from the synonyms. So they are trying to do the same. They are trying to understand if your domain really provided good, important, useful information for the user, or this is just a rubbish generated for ranking in the search engine. And indeed, if you are not really generating content all the time with the AI, and this is also something that we try to always teach the users of the Neuronwriter, that the AI is your help, not your goal, or it's not someone who is your copywriter. It's just like a helpful tool. I think you are safe as well. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will see. Anyway, they also announced that it will be to cover the information that they need. It will take months for English. So because I understood they don't really refresh every page every day. So they will have to wait until all domains refreshed, until they have this, let's call this Google content score or Google helpful score, whatever we call this, for most of your pages, and then they will decide this is a spamming domain, unhelpful domain, or this is a helpful domain, and we will just keep it as it is. Anyway, I think it's a little bit too soon to really say something more than that.
Okay, so we have a lot of questions now from the audience. Let's start with this one. I'll show it on stream. So he's been using Neuronwriter for a bit now and liking it for semantic suggestions. And how does it stack against Market Muse and NLP?
To be honest, I don't know. Sorry for that. I never use Market Muse NLP. I use it like I have use it. It's not the correct word. I have seen videos, but that's something else. It's for us. It's quite difficult to use all the tools that you are comparing us to. We have used few of them, like for example, Phrase or Surfer. I know also the Surfer owners. They are also from Poland. So I knew for some of them, but according to the Market Muse, I don't know. And the best is if you try yourself. We have a trial, so you can just open an account on the Neuron and you can try on your own. I believe for English they could be better. I hope so. They are better because at least they are longer on the market, and I think so they are focused on the English language. So I hope they are better, and you can tell me they are better or not. I'm just trying to memorize if there was some kind of feedback on the AppSum according to we contra Market Muse, but I don't remember, to be honest. There is something like 220 comments on AppSum, and I don't remember Market Muse. But you can go to AppSum, you can type Market Muse, and they will be filtered out, so you can read them. Maybe there is someone who compare us with the Market Muse. You can always, or I can do it for you as well. You can always ask this question on the Facebook group. Maybe there is someone who is using the Market Muse NLPs. From this, what I understood from one of the users, the AppSumo Market Muse offer was very limited because it was just like a few credits to use, if I'm not mistaken, something like the same. Not like a monthly credit, but just like a few credits. So yeah.
Okay, so next question is from VJ. Can Neuronwriter evolve to use its own keyword suggestions as input and write an article to use those exact keywords? Wait, I don't also understand this.
So take the next one, and maybe the person who asked just can rephrase this question so
right.
we can.
VJ, can please rephrase the question? I did not understand it. Okay. Okay, say having those exact keywords. Please rephrase it again, okay? Okay, so the next question is, Now the price of AI models are decreasing. Can we get more AI words limit in 3+ tier?
That's a funny question, yes. And what will be when they are increasing? Then we should just decrease your number
Limits?
of your words. Yes, should we? I think it will be very confusing for users if we just have our limits based on this. If one of the vendors change the price level, I think it's not something that any one of can handle. Yes, because for example, we have about 10 different. Third-party vendors, and then what happens if they change the prices? And most of the prices are going up. Yeah. So now we are going to keep as it is. If there will be some kind of gap, then probably we will invest a little bit more into AI templates and maybe to do some more because we would like to also train a little bit our own AI models. So it will be still based on the GPT-3, DaVinci 2, like they are right now. But we can do some kind of better prompt that you have better quality output. So that's the goal for the AI templates in the long term.
All right. So one of the our viewers say from Amdadul, it's a great alternative of Surfer SEO. So thank you for that. And from Chaitanya, your thoughts on Google algorithm updates for affiliates? Did you answer this one earlier?
No, it was update for which is called
The
helpful
helpful
content
content,
in
right?
general. To be honest, I don't know about the Google algorithm updates for the affiliates. So no, I don't. I'm not familiar with this update. If you can ask me on the Facebook or whatever, which one you are pointing out, and then I can maybe try to figure it out uh, yeah, what I could do could help you with that. Yeah, because right now, to be honest, now we are just like last 3 months, we are just very busy with the tool, and I'm really even don't giving the workshop right now because we are just too busy.
Okay. So next question is: are you going to have a plagiarism checker?
Yeah, it will be available this week, I believe so. Maybe tomorrow, even or day after tomorrow,
Oh, it will be live tomorrow.
or day after tomorrow. Yes, we did a beta
Wow.
test today. If everything works, so probably we will release it tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Okay. And okay, if I have tier 3, should I get tier 4, 5 to get additional features?
So the tier 4 and 5 are designed mainly for increasing number of your analyses. So if you need more articles, more product description, more category descriptions, then go for tier 4, 5. If you just need a function like I don't know connection to Google Search Console with the tier 3, you are fine. So
Okay. Maybe you
there
can
is
show
nothing else.
your new plans. Do you have it ready?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
I can share my screen and I can just. I can just share my screen and explain you what we have according to the new plans. So as you can see, there are new elements on the silver plan, on the bronze, silver plan, and gold plan. This is something that we already communicate in the on the Facebook group. We send these materials already to the AppSumo, and we are waiting for updating the page. But we just have to wait. We cannot do anything else. It's on their side, and I believe they are quite busy right now with updating everything. And as you can see, the last two plans, which is like a tier 4 and the tier 5, they have old gold features, so old features from this plan, and just they have more resources. So, for example, if you are a small agency and you have a lot of customers and you would like to use the Google Search Console for all of them or most of them, then probably yes. Then you can maybe go for 50 projects. And but if you just have your own domains, then probably Gold plan is fine for you. Or if you have a customers, but they are just like rotating, maybe the Gold plan is for you as well. it's really like those two extra plans. We did it only for the people which says always to us, guys, we have two accounts with you. We bought like, I don't know, we had one person who bought like 20 codes or 15 codes, and we are now using 5 accounts. And please do something that we can merge those credits together on the one account, because it's unhelpful to work like this. And this is why we give them those two extra plans, and we migrate those accounts, to be honest. Yes. So if you have this kind of accounts, like you have a double accounts or triple accounts, you can always ask us, and we will just merge those accounts, or we will just move the credits from our one account to another. So I hope it's clear. Oh, oops. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we are here. And yes, you have a lot of fans. We have 55 viewers right now. Okay, so where are you located, team size, and what's the plan for the future once the LTD is over?
So, okay, we are located in Poland and east of Poland. Team size right now is like 4 people on the payroll. We were 7. We just we were too big, to be honest, a little bit too big, because we spent too much time on just managing the team, and we have to be fast right now. So we downsized a little bit the team, and now it's faster. Now we have only the experts in our team, and we have also freelancers which are working with us, like, for example, UX designers and people which are just like doing helpful things for us when we need them. So that depends, of course, on the need on the freelancer. So yeah. And what the plans for the future once the lifetime deal is over? Yeah, I hope so. We will come back to the normal life. Sorry for saying that, but right
Normal
now
life.
we are really oversaturated with everything, with all these communication issues, all these challenges, all these requests. We are a little bit oversaturated with this. We have to calm down, and our plan, the long-term plan, is to really make very strong and maybe cheap is not a good word, but affordable software for everyone who would like to, who is like a copywriter and who is just like writing the content, but then is like trying to understand why I spent so much time, what I did so much efforts, but my content is not ranking. And this is the problem that we would like to solve. Yes, like help to basic copywriter or the basic business owner, or like the SMBs people. They don't really have time to go and I don't know, take the courses about the SEO and technical SEO and so on and so on. If they are writing the product description and they have a great product, like, let's say like a beauty product. Yes, you have your own beauty product, and it's great, and you like to share this information with your customers. Then the neuron writer is something which will be very helpful for you, or which is very helpful for you, because then you will understand what they are looking for, what are the typical questions that your audience is asking, and then you can just write the article in the way how people will like to read it, and how Google also will like to rank it, because it's helpful. So indeed, our goal is to make something helpful for the end user, and then if the end users will understand what are the intents behind the content, it will be also very easy for the copywriter to write the content that has a big chance to rank in Google. So this is our long-term goal, and if you need more details how we are going to do this, then maybe you can join our team or something like that. We always open for the experts, which are like to work 16 hours per day, and share the knowledge with the world. So Fernando, yeah, just let us know what we can do more for that. Okay, Alma, the next one.
Okay, so the next one is similar to Fernando's question, but what is the size of Neuronwriter versus the size of Contadu, excluding yourself?
So we have the stable MRR, and we are the same team. So the Neuronwriter and the Contadu is exactly the same team. And as you know, we are not working right now with the juniors, which is much faster, much faster. So I think we are just right now. We need surely like one or two persons for this customer support. But we also understand to have a customer support, because right now Anna is doing mostly customer support and I, sometimes Damien as well. But we also understand that to have someone who can be really helpful in the customer support, we need this person in a team at least 3 months. So probably just when the AppSumo offer it's over, we will go into the selection process, like a job application and so on and so on. It's also very time consuming. I don't have time, to be honest, right now to do this. So we will do just in few weeks, to be honest, yeah, because we are going to stay on the marketplace till probably mid or end of September. So then the next step is to build a team with two extra persons.
Right. And I recall that you are currently in AppSumo and selling $59 per code, and it will increase in price on September 15th. Is that right?
Yeah, we were thinking about increasing the price, but we are unsure about this, to be honest. Probably we
Okay.
are not going to do this. We are still unsure if we should do this, because we had a plan to stay longer on the AppSumo and increase the price, and probably we'll just stay shorter and we don't increase the price.
Okay. So we don't know yet the plan on that. Okay.
Uh,
Um,
you will know the plan on that when the AppSumo will update the page, because that we send everything to the AppSumo and we are just waiting for the update. And when they do
right.
the update, everything will be clear.
Okay. So any plans to work on content gap analysis?
Um, yes, it's a challenge, to be honest. On my workshop and also on the webinars from the Neuron, I'm explaining how to cover the gap when, for example, because the content gap is a very sometimes it's a very difficult. Because, for example, if you just think about something which is a word task. So if you're in Africa, the task is just an elephant part of the body of the elephant. If you talk about the task in Poland, it's one of the most prominent politician name. And yeah, I think so. It will go well. And then you need a local content understanding. So you need this kind of something what is called lexicon. You need the local lexicon. So you have to build the local lexicons. And those local lexicons for 170 languages, it's something that even Google cannot do that. Yeah, because the main problem that they point out in this document that I just explained on the beginning of our conversation, how to make experts from the dilettantes, is that they don't have the data sources to learn on, because everything what they can learn on or what the language models can learn on, it's without the source. So they have quite flat databases, and we have quite flat databases. So, for example, we can understand that X is related to B, but we don't understand Y, and we don't also understand in what kind of documents uh, it was founded. And this is, yeah, maybe later, if you like, just ping me somewhere on the Facebook. I will just give you the link to this document. Or if you just search now for like, if you just type something like Google, RankBrain, dilettantes, experts, just those words, and probably Google will pick up the PDF file. And then you will understand what it is so difficult. So, for example, for English, it will be quite easy because we have like Google NLP working in three languages, IBM Watson, which can be somehow useful working in English as well. Then you can build a little bit and understand the content gap. But for doing this for once for all languages, it's quite difficult. But anyway, we have something that we have to test. It's a little bit too early to say how this will work, but we have some kind of idea how to give you feedback about the content gap between your content, your current content, and the content in, let's say, top 10, for example. But I believe that will be after the AppSumo. We are not going to work on the content gap before we leave AppSumo, which will be in a few weeks, I would say.
Okay. So next question is, can different accounts can be merged into one?
Yeah, I just explained. Yes. If you
Okay.
have multiple three tier accounts, like multiple three gold accounts, this is why we did two extra tiers to merge them. So just mail us from the account that you have with your email address, with the email address of your existing accounts. If you like, you can also add the LTD codes and say something like, "This is my main account, and please merge everything to this account from the other accounts and delete these accounts." And that's all. And we will do it. We are doing, to be honest, every day. So.
Okay, so regarding the plagiarism checker, will it be only for Gold Plan 3, Tier 3, or
Yeah,
for
3, 4, 5, yeah, because you have a lot of content there, and we it's costly. We are using third party data. Yes, this is on the gold, all the gold plan tree.
so Gold Plan and up? Okay,
Yeah,
and
gold plan and everything above the gold plan.
right. And can you share the AI models that are used for each of the quality settings?
Yeah, so we are using for the high quality, we are using DaVinci 2, and for the low quality, we are testing different models. So there is not like a one model. We are testing GPT-3. We are trying to do some prompts with the GPT-J. We are trying to figure it out, but there is not something that we can say in stone that will be there. Right now, probably the GPT-3 is the best, also on the low quality content. But we are also looking on the Facebook models, and that's something that maybe will change later, according to this very, very low quality content, because we also have seen, maybe not now, not after the update of Google, we also have seen a lot of user questions about just generating the content with the, let's say we call this one click, or user call this full article generator, which really leads you to the problem with the Google updates, current Google update, because this is what you would like to say or do, or users, of course, yeah. So this is what they are vote for. I will just have a one keyword, I push one button, and then after this, it will generate, I don't know, most common headers, most common paragraphs, and so on. So if you can imagine, you have a keyword like, I don't know, let's say the keyword is AppSumo, and then we have 10 users which are writing the AppSumo, the article about the AppSumo. The chance that they will be exactly copycats are quite high. So we have to really figure it out, how to do this correctly, and so on and so on. So right now we are really keeping close to the GPT-3, and we will keep this high quality I think for a lifetime. I believe so, until something better came up.
Okay, so now is a question on code stacking. If I buy two extra codes to upgrade to Tier 3 now, are those valid, or should they wait until AppSumo page updates?
You can buy whatever codes you like, and they are valid, and you can just go to Neuronwriter, and you can use those codes, and you can stack up to 5 codes. As I said, they are valid. We sent the information already about the 5 tiers to AppSumo, and yeah, we are waiting for the update.
Okay.
So sorry for that, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
something on your side now, so
I cannot do anything else about it. Yes, we
right.
sent all the information to the AppSumo, and we even tried to push them a little bit, but yeah.
Okay, how is Contadu doing as a business?
Uh, how Contadu is doing as a business? I think the Contadu is doing well as a business, but surely enterprise market, it's a completely different market than this, where you are and where we are with the Neuronwriter. Because, for example, I don't know if you have working on the enterprise level, but if you would like to close the deal on the enterprise level, it's 6 months. Then you have onboarding. Then you have a lot of processes which are going inside the organization. So it's a different process. It's a completely different way of doing business. It's also a different way of talking to people, because, for example, we are on every SEO conference, on every content marketing conference in Poland. We are the sponsor. We are there with the booth. We are there to talk to the people, to talk to the business owners, to talk to the people which are like really the owners of the biggest, let's say, the news agencies in Poland, and so on. And of course, we are doing this everything as a network, because this is typical how you do the business on the enterprise level. Then MRR is high, a single transaction level is high, but of course, to close the business like the
Takes
big
months,
banks
right?
like this, it takes months. Yes, so if you can just compare this to selling calls on the AppSumo, it's a very very difficult process, and
Okay.
long term as well. Yes, and sometimes people change on these companies, and it's really completely different way of doing the business. It's more like talking to the English queen and then waiting, I don't know, 3 months for the response, or talking to your friend and just have a beer in 5 minutes. So this is this kind of business.
Okay, so for how many languages is Neuron Writer available?
So we have models for about 170 languages, but not all languages are equal, to be honest. Because we have a language model. So what is the language model on the Contadu level? We have like 6 pillars on the every language model. So for example, we have a semantic level, like let's say synonyms, yes, or let's say those terms or forms and so on. Then we have a stop words. Then it's just a process to build something like a language structure when we can understand what is the core on the language and so on and so on. So for some languages, we have built this very well, I would say so. But there are some languages when we don't have the users and we don't really invest time to optimize those models and so on and so on. So, for example, our main challenge right now are languages which are Asian languages like a Chinese or Japanese, when we have a word as a single symbol, because this is something what we don't have expertise on, to be honest. Yeah, because we are on the Latin language, there are always spaces between the words, there are always dots on the end of the document. So the let's say language like Arabic is fine, language like a Thai is fine, but those languages where the word is a symbol, that's something that we have to really work on. And we it's still a challenge, and we don't really have a time right now to dive as we should into those languages. So this is something that we have to really improve. Always you can try, as I said already. There is a trial available. You can just go to app.neuronwriter.com and open the account. You can have a free credits to check if your language it's fine. And also, to be honest, it's not only about the language, it's also about the content which is or the query which is available for a specific language. So for example, if you take I don't know, language where something it's not popular, so let's say maybe like you are searching in Thai for I don't know, a person who is well known, I don't know where, in Syria, but it's completely unknown in I don't know, Indonesia. So we are searching for this person, and of course, the search results will be very bad, because we are searching in Thai. This person is not known there, and then you have a garbage as an output. And then you can think that, yeah, the neuron writer output as a language is bad. No, it's just like there is no good results in the SERPs. And to run our language models, we have to first understand the good input from the SERP results. So if we had a good input, then it's a very big chance that our language model will work correctly and the output will be good as well.
Okay, now another question here is that, are you going to add a content writing feature that can write content based on the multiple keywords and must contain those keywords in the content?
We already have this. If you don't know how to do it, just ping me.
It's the
We can.
generate text option, right?
No, we have something which is called additional keywords. So this is something where you can add additional keywords which will be added to the content. So for example, let's say you have a main keyword and your main keyword is a Tesla, and your additional keyword could be like, I don't know, Twitter, and you can add like a Cybertruck, and you can add something like a Star Wars, yes, or why Star Wars wasn't bought yet by Elon Musk. and this is your additional keywords. And then this is what we do as a what engine of the Neuronwriter does. It's like going into the SERPs, you are choosing your competitors, and then if those competitors has those keywords, we will just multiply them. So we will just say like, hey, this is most important for this user because he would like to really point out that the Twitter is strong point in the article, so we just give more results on the Twitter level. And if there is no Twitter, then we will just add this keyword. So if somebody goes and search for the Tesla for let's say for this, could search for the Tesla, and in the top in the results that he choose, there is no mention about the Twitter. We will add the Twitter in the sidebar as a recommended keyword. And also you can add your own keywords on the terms based, which will be also counted as well. So there are multiple options to work on the multiple variants of keywords.
Okay, thank you. And is there a way to share or download PDF SEO reports with clients, and it's white labeled?
So not we don't have this option. This what we added because some of you ask for a link for the customers, which is not editable. So we add something like, you are a copywriter, you just finish a content for your customer, you just mark it as okay, it's done, and then you can share it with your customer, and then your customer can see something like, okay, here is my content, this is what I wrote, here are the recommendations from the neuron, here is the content score, and they can just say like, okay, it's good or bad. They can just give you some kind of feedback on this, and this is what we added, like I believe 2 weeks ago, something like that, 3 weeks ago. But there is no PDF reports. Fernando, if you would like to have kind of PDF report how this should looks like and so on, just send it to me, and I will see what we can do about it. But normally, I think it's so easy that I'm just trying to like forecast what could be in this report, and I don't know much more than this what we already have on the sharing level.
Okay, and also the same thing they're asking if they can do branded reports for the plagiarism checker.
No, we don't have the branded reports. We don't have anything like this because, to be honest, our goal when we went for the app was small business owners, not the agency owners, just the small business owners and the copywriters when you're working as a freelance and so on and so on. Now we are seeing that there is a lot of agency level companies which are asking us for more resources, more tiers. This is why we have this tier 4 or 5. But to be honest, it's not really something that it's built for the agency level. Maybe later, I don't know. I cannot say for later how this tool will evolve. But our goal is to make it as easy as possible for people which are non-tech and which just would like to express yourself, talk more about the product, and be visible in Google for the customers, for the users. This is our goal mainly.
All right. So the next question is, can you make
Branded
it?
report. Yeah,
Sorry.
that was something about the branded reports on the plagiarism checker. I think that they are not branded. So when the plagiarism checker will be available, you can see how this works, and they are just there is no branding on those.
All right. So currently, it's possible to purchase one-time AI credits and other feature credits for lower tier plans, right? Yeah, I've seen in the dashboard we can purchase this.
Yeah, you can you can buy more credits indeed. Yes.
Right. And is there any consideration of an AI like Cohere, or is it AI 21?
Yeah, I have. As I said, we were. Yeah, I cannot say that we really spend a lot of time. I was checking some of them. We have person who is doing like a full time right now, but I don't really have time to because we have person who is like a statistician, mathematician, and he's just doing anything else than comparing the models for us right now to build the AI templates. But to be honest, I'm just pointing out what we would like to know, and I don't have time right now to dive into the details. We have the reports about the the difference between the models and so on and so on. But this is not something that I would like to speculate right now about. Probably when we have the full report, end of the month, if you like, I can share it with you.
Okay, regarding the plagiarism checker again, is it from any third party company or did you build
Yeah,
it
it's a third party. It's a third party. It's Plagia Shield, and the owner of the Plagia Shield, Jeremy, built this AI especially for us. So it's like a custom AI built for us.
Okay, and how? Okay, so when you use plagiarism, will it reduce the word count from the quota? So, like, what are the feature limits for this one?
No. So the plagiarism is just based on the credit count. So one check on the plagiarism, it's a one credit, and that's all. It's not going to cost you any kind of word count credit and so on and so on.
Okay,
Word counts are only for the AI writing. So if you are using GPT-3 model and you are writing so you are asking the model to write for you, then the words are counted from your limits.
okay. So I think that's all the questions now, and thank you so much, guys. Do you need a little bit of a demo on the how to use Neuronwriter? I think can we just go for a quick demo?
Wait, it's someone here who don't really use the Neuronwriter. That might be it's a valid question because if okay, so let's do 5 minutes or 10 minutes
Just a
demo.
5 minutes demo, and
Okay.
then we do the giveaway. Or
Okay.
actually, you can go. I'll do the
Maybe
giveaway with them.
I will not do a demo because I understand that mostly you are already a Neuron user. I will just give you some tips here and there how to
Okay,
use the
that would
tool
be great.
most effectively. Yes. Okay. So let's go.
I need your screen.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay,
Okay,
there you
so
go.
let's say this is something that we prepare for one of the contests. As you know, we are doing the contest on the Facebook. It's going so well that I'm already almost blocked by the Facebook because I'm just sending too many comments. So I'm in the slow commenting mode right now. So sorry for that. If you are waiting like a one day if you're on the contest and you are waiting one day, this is the answer why, because I can just send 50 comments per day. Okay, so let's just take something like SEO content optimization. That could be one or whatever. Yeah. No, because this one, no, sorry, this one is something like a mix of. Let's take something. Let's say body groomer for men. I don't know nothing about this subject. So first of all, you are doing this analyze, yeah, like query, okay, and then the first what you have seen is it's a model where you have to choose your competitors, your real competitors. So let's say you already understand, okay, we are going to write about the best, so probably we have to compare a few of them, and then you have to go and see like, okay, the block it's okay, or we have to do something else, and so on and so on. Yes. So this what you do, you just say like, okay, I would like to write a blog post, and then you just choose like you see here, this is the blog post, which are just covering the topic. So probably this one as well, because it's a little bit longer. So I'm just not using the results which are like Philips or Amazon, which are mainly product probably related, not the comparison related. So this what you do first, you try to catch the intent from your audience and the intent of the article that you would like to rank, the write and rank with, and then you are there. So I mean, like you can just keep like, even this one 12 and so on and so on. So yeah, you are going to write the listing with the best body groomers for men 2022. Then you do update, and then this what happens, it's really related on the competition that you choose. And why this is so important. Sometimes, like in this case, the intent can be not really 100% in one way. So people can search for, like, let's say, okay, what kind of, let's say, tool should I use, or what of those tools are the best, or where to buy this tool. And then Google can be mixed. Like, okay, there will be like Amazon.com results from the category page. There could be like a producer like a Philips. We have seen category page in the web shop, and they could be like a few other, let's say, affiliate pages when people compare the different products. So you have to first choose where you are going to with your content. If your type of content it's not there, then please don't write anything else. Because if you just say like, okay, I would like to optimize category page, but there is no category page in the top 30, then your chances to rank with the category page are strictly very, very, very low. If you see that your top 20 or top 30, it's only the product pages. Like, for example, you can just have a query like, I don't know, car, model, and a price. And then probably you will have all the dealers which are selling this car with a model, with a specific price, could be second hand, could be first hand, and so on. So probably you have to go in this type of content. Sometimes we have like questions like, yeah, I have seen in the SERPs that most of the results are e-commerce results, and I have blogs, should I start the e-commerce? And then of course, yes, you have to start the e-commerce, because if the Google already understand that the people are voting for e-commerce results, then you have to have the e-commerce pages when there is a checkout, when they are buying, and so on and so on. So it's clear as this. First, you have to do this right to have the right recommendations. Then the recommendations in the sidebar are related on the competition that you choose here. Yes. So everything what you are seeing here, it's really related to the pages that you have already chosen. So it's related on this like 18, 20, I don't know, blah, 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 best trimmers or groomer for a man. So of course, if you change them, it will change as well. I believe this is fine. And then this is what I also said to everyone, just start with the draft. If you don't have the document yet, you can start with the draft, and typically I'm starting from the H1, so I do like say like best sellers in body hair groomers, this is H1, and then I go for H2, how should I use, I don't know, blah, 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 do you need it? You can go for H3 later, and so on. So you just added your structure to a document. Of course, this is something that you can do on your own. This is something what you can do based on the competition. This is something what you can do based on the question from competition and from Google, because if there are questions from Google, you can do this from Google as well. You can do a meta here as well, or you can do a meta on the level from a content editor. I will just do here. Sorry, I'm just copy pasting. It's not, of course, not something that we recommend. We recommend that you write your own based on the competitors' data, and this is also why the copycat is so important. The update right now, and then you just copy this to editor, and you have that will be our H1, and then you have the article structure. So you have already the title, you have already description. You can see if this is click worthy, because it's super important to make the title and description click worthy, because if the people don't click in this, you don't have the users. So this is like very important to have the right title, right description. Of course, I understand that description is not something that it will be commonly used by Google. It don't have a meaning for the for SEO, and because most of the descriptions are just bad. This is why Google has to rephrase it or even generate them from the paragraphs. But if you just make something good, then probably it will stay longer, or at least it will be not regenerated in every case from Google. Yes. So try to do something click-worthy, and then on the content level, you can use okay, wait a second. So just see, yeah. So you can just use the AI for writing the content. You can just use and generate again and use. So of course, this is also something what I believe we will surely improve. There will be better templates, but anyway, you can already start to use the AI here. And yeah, so basically, you are going to write right now the content. Mm, I assume you are writing more as a human and less as an AI. This is the goal, and this is also why we don't, for example, allows you to regenerate the content which was already generated by the AI. Yes, so if you just say like, you see, no, you cannot. So add something from yourself to save your content from the previous update. So this is why we have so many alerts and why we have so many unfriendly stuff in the app. And then this is what you do, you just create the content. Yes, and to compare your content to the competitors, we have here some kind of content score from your competitors. And mostly this is what I assume that everyone should do. It will be something like between 20, maybe 15, 20, 25 points more than average that they choose. So if the average is 55, you should go for something like 70, 70 something, and then you should be fine for the first release. Don't try to go for something like 100, because then you can give Google signal that with your content it's something not right, because it will be like, like something like a red flag there, that you have like content which really it's still not there. It could be okay, but I mean, like, it's way better to just do this like 25 points more. You have, let's say, 75, then you publish, then you wait 2 days for indexation. You can push the GST or whatever you use for indexation, and then you see how the content behave. And you see, okay, my content went, I don't know, 20 up or 30 up, or I don't know, from 12 to 30. And then you optimize again. After, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you say like, okay, it's there, it's steady. Let's go again and do second iteration, and let's optimize it again against the current results. And after 2 times, you will be fine. Sometimes after 1 time, you are fine. But this is really like, try to use your resources smart and do not really over optimize the content. We have some algorithm which not really allowing you to over optimize the content, but still don't really do this. And also this what we try to tell to everyone: please read those extended keywords. And let's say like 12 best body groomers, or I don't know, body grooming kit, whatever. Because if you just start to using those ones, and there are of course the examples how to use them. Yeah, so yeah, you can just take this one, and of course it's not still not something that I'm like promoting here. I'm just like using using elements from a, let's say, competitor right now, from the competitor content. But this is what I would like to tell you. It's like if you use the extended keywords, like we did right now, also the basic keywords will fill on its own. They will fill themselves, and it's super easy. So you start with the extended, you see what are going with your narration, what is okay, and then you go with them. If there is something what you don't like I don't know, let's say no streamer, you think okay, it's not related, uh, then you can just say something like, okay, exclude from this suggestion, and then we will not really wait for you to fill this word in the content, and it's also fine. Yeah, so you can just do a quick rewrap here, and then write the content. And then when the content is, as I said, about 20, 25 points more, then you just can go to the checklist, see what else you are missing. You see here is a high staff increase already, and this is why, because we have a lot of keywords here and not a lot of text without the keywords. So this is where the keyword staff increase is higher, because as you can see, yeah, keywords. And that's mainly all, to be honest. It was already 10 minutes and I should do this in five. So sorry for that. Any other questions? And let's go for a little bit work or party, whatever you have planned
Right.
in a long
Okay. So
term.
just one more question here. Would it be possible to allot resources for to team members?
No, not at all. This is, as I said already, this is not something where we were talking about the multi accounts and so on. It's not really agency tool, and I don't know if this will be agency tool. And we don't have right now any kind of options to,
Okay.
say like I bought 100, I bought account, and then I will share this account for my colleagues. No, we don't have this.
Okay
I
then.
don't know even if this is allowed by AppSumo, to be honest, to have multi accounts or how this. No, we are not going to. We are not going to have this kind of options. If you think that some of your customers will need the account, then just buy the account for them, mm, share with them or whatever you like. But we are not going into the mode when we will build. Already this is very complicated. We have like a team sharing option, then we have a single article sharing option, which will be available probably next week, and then we have a sharing option with the customer, and then when we have also the multi accounts when all the sharing. No, that's
Okay.
that's that's not something that we are going to go for.
Okay. At least that is clear. Okay. Thank you so much. So we will thank you so much for your time and for explaining to us Neuron Writer. And I think now people know more about your tool. Much, yeah, they get to know Neuron Writer much more. Okay, so thanks, and I will be doing the giveaway. And for the giveaway, we
Yeah,
have three codes to give away. And what will happen is I'll collect the emails and I'll send it to you, or I'll give them the codes.
yeah,
You give.
yeah. I think this is the best because just right now we have like I think it's the best if you just do whatever you like, the wheel of keywords or
Oh yeah,
names
I
or
will do that
whatever.
part, of course. Or
Just
maybe
just
just pass the
just
codes
do
to me
this.
and I can send it to the
Yeah,
the
just
winner.
send me
Yep.
three emails, and we will write very nice emails with the codes to the winners, and also the explanation how they can set up the accounts or how they can add this to existing account.
Okay, great. I'll send you the email, the email
Okay,
address.
so I will stay with you for the giveaway, so just to
Okay,
see the winners, and then
no
I
problem.
I
Okay, so
really know it
now
was a long day.
it's a very long one. We had around 60 earlier. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, you can always, if you have more question, you can always please go for a chat on the website because to be honest, I cannot follow on the communication of the social media. It's impossible for us. It's impossible for me. There is so many groups that we are on. There is so many questions on the single comments. I did in this week about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 comments until, as I said, Facebook push me into the slow comments mode. So it's really difficult for us to reply every person on each question. So please, if you go on the chat, at least even if we are not on the chat, we will have a history of the communication, and we will always send you an email or whatever it's needed to explain and answer your questions.
Okay, so we have total 68 names. I hope I managed to catch them all. That's why I was quite busy too. And let's see. Yeah.
So you already collected the email addresses, or you will collect them later? Later, yeah.
I will collect them later after the giveaway. So I don't have the email addresses yet. I just have the names of people who tuned in.
If you are okay with this, I can also give you the codes, and you can just distribute this with
Oh
the
yes, I
regular.
can do that too. Okay. And I know you are
Mm.
busy, so if you don't mind, I can do the giveaway if you really have to go now, right? Or
No,
you
no,
can stay
no,
with
no.
us.
It's
Okay,
not like
great. You can
yeah.
stay with
I'm
us.
happy
Perfect,
to be.
perfect, perfect.
I'm
Okay.
happy to be
So let's
here.
do the first draw, and I think I shared the wrong screen as well. This is what happens to me all the time.
Here is the question from Fernando. I don't know what you mean by real life optimization, but you can just import the article that you would like to optimize to editor, and you do this, and it's live. So I don't know what you mean by real life optimization, but I assume we can do that.
Okay, so we have here the wheels of names. We have total 68 names. I'm I hope I did not miss anyone. Okay, so let's start with the first winner.
Yeah, and
Okay, the first winner
so
is
green.
Kumari Vadali. Is he around? Okay, we remove the name and then we do another shuffle.
So now should be red.
I hope so. I don't know what's happening here.
I'm voting for red. So let's see if
You're
this
voting
works.
for red. Okay.
I'm voting for red. So it's like a roulette. Go for it.
Okay, Hugs Johnson.
So I lost.
Yeah. Do
And
you
the winner
gamble
is
a lot?
actually.
Do you gamble?
No, I don't gamble at all. But
Oh,
yeah,
me too.
it's really funny how they manage this and how popular it's became. So I really like it. And then green again, or
And
blue,
Chaitanya.
blue.
Okay, good.
So we
Awesome.
have two blue and one green.
Right. So the winners are,
Yeah.
let's go get here, are Arkumari Badali, Hugs Johnson, Chaitanya Badave. So to the winners, can you please send to me via private message your email addresses? And, oh no, you will give the codes to me, Pavel, right? Then I'll just
Yeah, I
send
can
them
give it to you. Yeah, I can give it to you, and I can give it to you with the landing page where they can open the account or get the codes working for them. So that's something that surely
Okay,
work.
great, great, great.
Um,
And what's happening there now? Okay. So I think that's all. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And yeah, tomorrow we have another live for Blue Project Management. And again, thank you so much, Pavel, for your time today.
have fun, and anyway, I believe this that was a big challenge for us. Thank you so much for your support, because we have a big support from the users. I think most of you are happy with this what we are doing, and just if we just miscommunicate, or if you have any questions or whatever, just came to us and ask straight the questions, because we are very, very open to really do whatever we can to make this product really long-term outstanding tool for the copywriters without the technical knowledge. So this is our goal, and I believe so we will deliver this.
Okay, thank you so much and see you next
Okay,
time.
thank
Bye
you,
bye.
thank you. Bye.